Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Let's start with something jaw-dropping. A new artificial intelligence tool, ChatGPT, that's possibly the closest bit of AI that could replace human jobs, like university professors and journalists like me. ChatGPT can write an essay, story, or answer any kind of question you might have in a logical, intelligent manner, and it can even tell you why a joke is funny. There are already concerns at universities as it can write whole dissertations without plagiarizing from its sources. OpenAI is the company that created ChatGPT, and it says the tool can even answer follow-up questions, admit its mistakes, challenge incorrect premises, and reject inappropriate requests. So it has been programmed not to help criminals such as wannabe bank robbers or car thieves. ChatGPT currently has more than 1 million users and has stunned the tech world. But it's not quite perfect just yet and may occasionally generate incorrect information. Naturally, this new tech is causing quite a stir online, and this TikToker is particularly excited.
This app is mind-blowing and it's going to change the world. Save this video for later, you'll want to try it for yourself. It's called ChatGPT and it's a natural language processing model developed by OpenAI. You might recognize them as the people that also made DALL-E, and it was also co-founded by Elon Musk. So ChatGPT uses machine learning to understand and respond to human inputs. In other words, you give this thing a prompt and it'll do your homework for you. Watch this.
Write an essay on the ethics of having Pokémon fight each other.
I've already used ChatGPT to write emails to potential investors and a Medium article for an upcoming Web3 project I'm working on. If I had this in high school, maybe I actually would have done my homework. Let me know if you found this useful and you saved some time out of your day.
Since we're talking about AI, we gotta also mention Lensa, an AI app that turns pictures you upload into avatars or art pieces. The app was launched as a photo editing tool in 2018, but last month it added its Magic Avatars feature. With Lensa, users can turn themselves into fairy princesses or superheroes. It is now the most downloaded app in the Apple Store's photo and video category, but it'll cost you. The monthly subscription to the app is $30, and access to the avatar tool costs an extra $4 for 50 images. But there are also concerns, especially when it comes to storing data. Lensa's terms of use says the face data uploaded by users can be used by Prisma AI, its parent company. It says the data is used to train the AI for further advancements. From turning into an avatar to rolling back the years, Disney has developed a new AI tool that can age or rejuvenate people. Its new movie-quality AI tool, Fran, or Face Re-Aging Network, makes actors look naturally younger or older without heaps of makeup special effects. So instead of manually erasing the lines of age on their faces or putting a computer-generated double, artists will have it easier. Filmmaking giants have been investing on ways to automate video editing tools to lighten the artist's workload and also, save money. This new AI tool is like an advanced version of what Disney came up with 2 years ago, a face swap AI-powered tool capable of generating professional videos. It looks like Disney is aiming for infinity and beyond. Well, we all know that this brave new world of online news has been good for Facebook and bad for newsrooms. Facebook slices off a sizable share of advertising revenue that once went directly to news publications. Well, there's a new bill in the U.S. Congress that aims to change all of that.
If the U.S. Congress passes a proposal aimed at making it easier for news organizations to negotiate collectively with companies like Google and Facebook, sources briefed on the matter said lawmakers are considering adding the Journalism Competition and Preservation Act to a must-pass annual defense bill as a way to help struggling local news industry.
But some say the Journalism Competition and Preservation Act might make things worse. The act would force Facebook and other aggregators to pay a fee for posting links from news sites. That sounds fair, right? But the devil is in the details. For one thing, it sets up a game of chicken between news organizations, advertisers, and social media sites. That means less reach for journalism and more headaches for regulators. And digital rights advocates warn the JCPA doesn't solve what they see as the real problem. That's Facebook's monopoly over content and ad revenue. They also say some provisions will force aggregators to carry content even if they deem it in violation of their moderation policies. They say the new law would just put more money in the pockets of wealthy investment firms that have gobbled up small outlets, the same ones responsible for layoffs across the industry. Any remaining independent sites that remain may have to pay bigger ones for the privilege of linking to their stories. We'll let you know what happens. Some disturbing news from Europe, where a survey reports that a quarter of 16 to 19-year-olds have trolled someone online, and 1 in 3 have engaged in digital piracy. The study funded by the European Union found evidence of widespread criminal, risky, and delinquent behavior in 9 European countries. The poll of 8,000 young people found 1 in 4 have tracked or trolled someone online. 1 in 8 have engaged in online harassment. A tenth of those surveyed admitted to engaging in hate speech or hacking. A third have been involved with digital piracy. 4 out of 10 have watched pornography online. Julia Davidson, who co-authored the report, said risky and criminal online behavior was becoming almost normalized among a generation of European young people. China has begun easing its strict virus policies in some cities after unprecedented nationwide protests against the government and its zero COVID-19 strategy. But as millions across China breathe a collective sigh of relief at their communist government's U-turn, experts are sounding the alarm. Author Kenneth Roth, who was previously Human Rights Watch's executive director, repeated a warning by many epidemiologists, tweeting that China's population is extremely vulnerable to COVID-19 and that with almost no natural immunity, a lackluster vaccination program using domestic vaccines that are not as effective as those developed in the West doesn't help. With the easing of the country's zero COVID-19 policy, health experts fear a deadly infection surge, the likes of which China has never seen before. Beijing hasn't had the best track record in handling the pandemic, but after an initially delayed response when the virus first emerged in Wuhan in late 2019, China did manage to get the outbreak under control thanks to strict restrictions as cases surged elsewhere worldwide. Although in the first months of 2022, the highly transmissible Omicron variant came onto the scene despite strict border rules in China. That led to long lockdowns in Shanghai and other major cities. Authorities cracked down hard, shutting down cities over even a few cases. But that hasn't been enough to control the spread.
China is currently starting to roll back its very strict COVID-19 containment measures and boost vaccination rates. But the Chinese population has a relatively low level of immunity against COVID-19, and many people could die if the virus spreads. That is in large part because China has inadequate vaccine coverage for the elderly, who are most vulnerable to infection. Just over 65% of people aged 80 and above in China has been double jabbed. Added to that, China uses its own domestic vaccines, which have lower levels of protection than Western products. If China fully rolls back its lockdown measures, the country could face a surge of deaths and hospitalizations. The Chinese healthcare system is poorly equipped for an influx of patients and could be overwhelmed. The government devoted so many resources to testing and quarantine measures that hospital care has been neglected. One possible solution would be to impose a vaccine mandate, but that was tried in Beijing earlier this year and failed utterly amid a public backlash. China could also import foreign vaccines, which have so far not been authorized there. But using Western jabs have been acknowledging the inferiority of Chinese vaccines and encouraging vaccine-resistant Chinese to trust US and European products. And that's hard to imagine given China's geopolitical tensions with the US and its aim to become a leader in science and technology. In reality, there is no easy way out for China's fight with COVID-19.
On to the World Cup in Qatar. Now, the tiny Gulf state has a population of just 3 million people. Over half that number, 1.5 million, visitors are expected to visit the tournament. Sponsors such as McDonald's and Coca-Cola hope many of them will be chugging down burgers and Coke, as well as the wide range of international cuisine that's on offer there. But as our Franziska has been finding out, the local fare is pretty yummy as well.
Today I want to take you to one of my favorite places here in the old town of Doha, Shay Al Shmous. Welcome to the place of Shams Al Kassabi, the first ever woman that opened a restaurant here in the souk. The menu shows a variety of dishes from balalid over to hummus, of course, and there's a specialty called regak, which I'm super excited for. Habibi. The food finally arrived. We have some true Qatari specialties over here. This is called regak. We have shakshuka, eggs, and of course belalid, very, very special food, and the karak chai. I'm extremely hungry, so bon appetit. It's very delicious, and this is what I call success. Really good food that makes you happy. So I'm here now next to Mama Shmous, the business owner of the restaurant.
المطعم فتحته لأن أول مبتكرة مواد غذائية كنت أسوي بهارات فأوزع على كل المطاعم اللي في قطر وخارج قطر فأعطوني كافي شوب إني أسوي كافي شوب إلا بخاطري فأنا سويته كافي شوب قطري كل يوم طورته من 6 كراسي صار 248 كرسي مثل ما تشوفون استقبل العالم في المطعم المتواضع الصغير.
I can totally recommend that. Everybody should come here. The food was delicious. This is what success is. It is about the soul in the food, as Mother Shmous, the restaurant owner, would say.
Well, that's made me very hungry. And with that, we've reached the end of today's newsfeed. Find this show on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. Bye and see you same time tomorrow.